Welcome to Muscles and Malarkey, the podcast about all things strength, fitness, and fun. I'm your host, Mary. Today I have a special guest, my friend and fellow lifter, Bridgette. In this episode, we are diving into a conversation that goes beyond just sets and reps. We talk about the mindset that helps you grow in lifting, how to find your people in the gym, and the importance of surrounding yourself with those who lift you up, literally and figuratively. Bridgette and I also get into why supporting other women in strength sports isn't just nice, it's necessary. From cheering each other on at meets to celebrating PRs in and out of the gym, we're talking about the power of community and acknowledging strength in all its forms. Whether you're new to lifting or have been at it for years, this episode is for anyone who knows the value of hard work, resilience, and a strong support system. So, grab your headphones, get comfy, and let's get into it. How are you today, Bridgette?
I'm good. It's Friday. I couldn't be more excited.
Girl, I feel that. The thing about you, Bridgette, is I'm going to brag on you here. You're pretty freaking strong, right?
Casually, I'm an okay lifter. Yeah.
You are probably the most humble lifter. Genuinely, I mean this. You're probably the most humble lifter I've ever met. I'm going to blow up your spot here for a second. Can you tell me, because
Oh,
you're a power lifter, yeah?
yes.
Have you been
Allegedly.
allegedly? You say allegedly? Okay, girl, I've seen you squat 500 pounds. There's no alleged about that. It's always a joy lifting with you. It's always fun spending time with you. I saw you on the gram and I was like, yo, do you want to work out together sometime? And you were like, that sounds great. When I introduce Bridgette to people at my gym, I'll be like, yeah, this is my friend Bridgette. She's pretty strong. And they'll be like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, she could squat 500 pounds. And
And then I stand there awkwardly.
you're like, I'm just a girl.
I get so awkward and shy about it. And then I'm just like, yeah.
I don't say it to make you feel awkward or uncomfortable. I say it because I think it's really important to acknowledge strength in any capacity. My friend Cassie, she's trying to get a 200-pound deadlift. That is her goal. And I tell her how freaking strong she is all the time. You are so freaking strong. And sometimes I hear how you talk and I'm like, does she not even recognize how much of a fucking badass she is?
I think we've talked about this. In the world of average women, I am amazing. And I do something that's spectacular. And not a lot of women do. Put me in a room with women who powerlift in my weight class, I got a lot of fucking work to do before I am considered spectacular. And that's where that mentality comes from. I mean, I'll recognize it. Like when people commend me or celebrate with me, like I will sit there and say, oh my God, yes, I'm great. I did an amazing thing. But again, in the back of my head, I'm like, I have work to do. There's more to be done. So it's just like that constant thought.
I see why you have that mentality. You are so humble because you are hungry and you want more. You acknowledge that you, like you said, you do something spectacular, but you're also like, it's not enough. I want more. And I think
Right.
that's really cool. You recently ish competed. What were your numbers, your squat, bench, and dead?
That meet was in October. I squatted 507. I benched 236 and I deadlifted 450.
I wish the people could see my face. I was just about to say that's so just casual. Like, yeah, I squat over 500.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I
Yeah.
mean, technically, in a sanctioned event, you are on open powerlifting with your 500. It's legit. There are different types of lifters, right? There's like people who they have their different motivations. And I'm curious, what was your initial motivation to get into powerlifting? Can you kind of tell me your history with that?
I originally got into fitness as, the intro of wanting to lose weight, wanting to be thinner, going through the vicious cycle of eating and having bad habits and not eating enough. And I ran into a really good friend of mine now. Her name is Kirsten. And I told her that I didn't want to just lose weight, that I wanted to learn how to be strong and be powerful. And I was very intrigued by the powerlifting scene, but I didn't know that I wanted to power lift yet. She just kind of gave me the basics. She helped me learn mobility in a squat because when I went to her, I couldn't even squat past to parallel, to be honest. So I had no mobility. I didn't know how to bench. I didn't know how to deadlift. So that kind of led into, really falling in love with it. And I was following her program for better half of almost a year. She never accepted a dime from me. She just kind of did this on, her idea of being a girl's girl and just pushing me through this idea of wanting to be stronger and pushing myself. And I think that's kind of where the idea of becoming a power lifter started to snowball. But I obviously didn't have the knowledge yet. I was just barely learning the basics.
I never realized that the gym owner bet you. I love that. I love how he's like, "Hey, yeah, this girl's pretty strong. It'd be wild if she were to compete." And you're like, "Okay, sounds great."
Yeah, it was like I just remember it too. It was the first time I hit 315 on the deadlift. I remember that day he was like, "You should compete, you should compete." And I was like, "I don't think I'm capable of that." And we sat there and he was just like, "I will pay for it. I will give you a free shirt." And I was dedicated for this free shirt, let me tell you.
The motivation we get from free swag, am I right?
Right. But yeah, like I said, that was like really honestly the start of it. Honestly, if you would have told me then where I would be now, I don't think I would believe it in the slightest.
I resonate with that. Like a lot of different aspects of your story and how you started out. I feel most women, and I feel like this is a safe blanket statement to make, we usually step into the gym with the idea in mind of losing weight, right? That's kind of like the buy-in. Shout out to Kirsten because she like you said, we love a girl's girl. I'm very big on women supporting women in the gym space. And Kirsten literally took that and was just like, here is a perfect example of how to support women in your space with no ulterior motive.
I give all the credit to her. Without her part in the story, none of this happened.
Do you happen to remember? Because your first meet then was November 13th of 2022, correct?
I believe so, yes.
I have your open powerlifting pulled up in front of me.
Oh, there we go.
So I didn't realize that you actually squatted in wraps in your first meet. They have you labeled as doing that in wraps. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't. Like I said, I don't know anything.
That's the WNPF, baby. That's the WNPF.
Love them.
Yeah, like literally your first meet. This is so funny. I've never seen this before, but it has one squat listed, one deadlift, and one bench versus like the other ones that you've competed like in USAPL since. They have like all three of your attempts, all three of your bench, all three of your deadlifts. Like, so it's just kind of funny that they're like, you did this one lift and this one lift.
You only get one.
You only get one. But do you remember your numbers from your first meet?
Yes, I think I squatted 375. I benched 105 and I deadlift 385.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. I'm just saying.
I don't know where it came from, to be honest with you.
Well, and I love the fact that it was like, hey, I dare you to do this meet. And you ended up going, and I can see it here. You placed second in that meet. I don't know if you
Yeah,
knew that.
yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I qualified for nationals in that
That is even crazier to me. You're like, I'll do this for fun, just for kicks. And then you're like, by the way, I qualified for nationals.
meet.
What? Like it's hard? I love
Oh,
it.
actually, I had such a shorter amount of time than I thought. I started my prep in April and then competed in August.
Oh my gosh. Wow, you've done one, two, three, four meets. Four meets since August of 2023.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I swear, every time I talked, like, there were at least two separate times where I was like, "Hey, how are things going?" And you're like, "Good, I competed. I'm taking a little bit of a break and then I'm going back into a meet prep." And I'm like, "This girl is a robot. She is a machine."
You know what's funny is I tell myself all the time that I should probably take a break and I should take a step back and enjoy the ride. But I really feel like my competitive edge just thrives knowing that I have something on the books.
Mhm.
I feel like I just push so much harder when I have something ready. I don't know if it's the like excitement of a meet or the adrenaline or whatever it is. I like to have something in my brain so that way I know like, hey, if you don't get your shit together, you have a deadline. Like you're not going to make this deadline and be where you want to be if you don't put in the work.
You have such a dedication and such an intensity. I mean this in the positive way. Like, you have a goal and you wanna get shit done, and I admire that about you.
Thank you. I try so hard to keep it internalized because I know that there's people out there that will take that and make it the worst quality about you and like just turn it against you. So I just try to keep it internalized and really think about myself and where I want to be.
So you just competed in October, where, as a
Yes.
reminder, you squatted 507 pounds. Did you set a record with that squat?
No, I
Okay.
wish, but I really want the record. Like that's that's definitely in the back of my mind. I
What's the record?
think it's like 619.
Okay, yep, never mind. I was like, "Oh, how much could it be?" Like 570, 619. Okay, cool. That's fine.
I might be wrong. I don't know. Actually, okay, I should say I'm pretty sure that's the national record.
Mm.
I don't know what the state record is because I honestly am only thinking of the national record, and that's what I want.
I'm trying to look up the record for your weight class. Just
It
kidding.
looks like the state record is 573.
573. Oh, you got that easy. Are you planning on competing anytime in the near future? And what are your goals for like your future meets?
Well, I have two that I have in mind, and they're pretty back to back. March, the week of March 14th,
O-
there's the New York State Championship. I'm planning on competing there.
Okay.
If and I have no doubt, as long as I hit my numbers, I should qualify for nationals, which is in June.
Oh.
So those are the only two, only, but those are the two I have in the books.
Are you planning on using the March meet as kind of like I don't want to say like a prep, but almost like a practice round for June? Are you going full intensity for the one in March?
I really honestly like leave that planning to my coach. I trust him with my life at this point. He's been everything I could ask for in a coach.
This sounds
Yeah.
like a great segue. Who is your coach?
Carly
Hold on, let me
Skarpinski.
that.
He has a crazy last name. Carly, I'm so sorry for butchering your last name.
Carly, if you listen to this, hi. It's nice to talk to you.
First and foremost, like the first thing that really drew me to him was when we had our first chat before I started to join him. He had asked me, "What do you want out of this?" And I felt like nobody had ever asked me that. And that meant the world to me
Oh.
because for the first time, I felt like I wasn't being told what to do as more as like, what are you interested in? And then I was just like, I don't know. Like, we'll just see where this takes us. And I've honestly just been going off of his big brain, and here we are.
I think that's so important though, and that's to your point about working with a coach who collaborates with you and doesn't just say, do this, do that, do this, do that, without honoring any feedback that an athlete were to give their coach. Like, I'm really happy that you have that in your coaching relationship with Carly.
Yeah, I have no complaints. He is an amazing coach. He checks in, he watches all of my lifting videos that I send him, and I just, just no complaints. He's a wonderful coach. Love him. He's great.
Carly's team, do you talk with your teammates? Is it like a connection thing? Like, do you guys support each other? Or is it, oh, I didn't even realize that this person was also a Mustache Fitness client?
I know a few of them. We follow each other on Instagram, comment, like each other's posts. I only really follow the people that I've met so far. It seems like a pretty tight community with who is an athlete with Carly. The only thing is, obviously, I don't live in his area. I meet them at meets, essentially. I mean, otherwise, I think it's great because, you meet people who enjoy something you enjoy and you build a connection that way and you become friends. I met one of my teammates recently. Her name is Kenzie at a meet.
Yo, she is so freaking strong.
Oh my God. Yeah, she is. She's actually the state record holder.
Oh, well, we gotta take her down respectfully
I don't know. We'll see. First, I
someday.
need to
Absolutely.
not fail 5'10", and then we'll get there.
Listen, I'm pulling up the open powerlifting just once more because when
Here.
you competed December of 2023, your total was 1,113.3 pounds. And then you competed literally less than a year later because your most recent was October of 2024. So this is from
Mhm.
December of 23 to October of 24. You increased your total to 1,196 pounds. Your dot score increased, oh God, this is math, 14 points, which is like pretty freaking good, in my opinion. That's in the span of literally 10 months.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
how that
pretty
happened.
impressive. You don't know how that happened? I do. It's because you're a hard ass worker. What's the heaviest you've done in the gym?
I honestly, I think the last time was 505. I failed 510 twice and then ended up doing 507. But I think
What?
I failed like, I think it was like 3 or 4, like 3 weeks prior to my meet. So I was very happy about
Oh,
507.
thank you for being honest about and showing that you fail. Because, like, we all do.
Yeah, I feel like people who don't show that side are so weird to me.
Yeah.
Because it happens. It eventually would happen. And, like, I talk about my deadlift being garbage all the time.
Oh yeah, your
And
garbage 400. Hold on, let me just pull that up real quick. Your garbage 451.9 pound deadlifts. Yeah, super garbage.
but if you read into that, I was at 418 for 3 meets, I think. And
You
I like
had
that didn't move.
the meet that you did in May of 2024, the primetime meet. You opened with 380, which is my personal record of all time for deadlift, not done in a meet, PT dubs, as your opener. Then you jumped up to 413 and you failed that for I'm not sure what reason. And then you jumped up to 418 and you got it.
Oh, I think I got called for my soft knees on my second attempt.
Oh, those
Yeah.
darn soft knees.
I talk about it all the time and I make jokes because like in powerlifting, people say like, "Oh, you can only have 2 good lifts and one won't be great." And I stand by this. I refuse to believe that. I will be a very well-rounded athlete at some point.
You are.
Maybe when I get my sleep together and all that. But that's another topic.
I mean, the lack of sleep though, you work a full-time job. You're currently in school to become a dentist, and you're also a competitive powerlifter that goes to the gym 5 days a week. Like, why aren't you getting sleep? Come on, Bridget, get it together.
I know, right? Like why? Who
Why?
does this? Back to what we were talking about. I never understood the idea of not showing that side or not
Mhm.
talking about it. Like it happens. We all go through it. Even sayings like not every day in the gym are going to be great. That's honest. And I just think that it's unrealistic.
I agree with you. I think with social media being the way that it is and only showing the highlights, it's like you don't want to show that you failed a lift. But like you said, we all do it. So why not show that vulnerability, I guess. Like, I mean, it's not even that vulnerable. It's just like a fact. It's just a
Right.
data point.
It's a great way to see progress. And I'll give like the deadlift example. 418, 3 meets. That's probably about a year, right? Just
Yeah.
feeling stagnant. Looking at my coach, knowing within myself too, like, okay, something's got to change. Obviously, I'm not progressing. Something's not going right. Where do we start?
That's grown behavior right there. I'm just gonna say. That's really like I mean that though, because I have seen this like from the clinic perspective of like working with patients. It's really easy for people to blame everything else than to look internally and say, what can I do to change this? And that's what you did.
That is like one of the biggest things that I hear too. I had a lady come up to me and she's probably 20 years older than me. And she was telling me how she hurt her back. She can't lift weights right now. She admired me for the amount of weight that I was pushing. She felt guilty because she took 2 weeks off and she can't deadlift right now because she tweaked her back. I looked at her and I said, 2 weeks off means nothing. Taking a break means nothing. You're here, you're still pushing yourself, you're still moving. Don't be down on yourself like, yes, you tweaked your back. You'll eventually get back to where you are. This is just a bump in the road.
Girl, that's some cold, harsh truth right there, honestly. Sincerely, though, there's a saying that I use a lot. We tell ourselves a story, and you will believe the story that you tell yourself. And if you say, I can't do this because I'm old, I can't do this because I've never done it before, I can't do this, da da da, da, your brain will believe you. My coach, her husband Travis, he had a bilateral quad rupture during, I think it was during a meet or it was during like a warm up squat. He went to the hospital, they reattached his quads, and they said, you're probably not really going to walk like normal again, let alone lift weights. And he hit a 700-pound squat earlier this week.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, and that was like 2.5-ish years ago. He ruptured both of those.
It's like stories like that. Like at the end of the day, we should all be grateful that we have the opportunity to even be in a gym. There are people in this world that don't even have that luxury.
That mentality of gratitude and being grateful for what your body can do, I think changes how you approach the gym. Not everybody has to be a power lifter or like a marathon runner or an Olympic weightlifter, but you do owe it to yourself to give yourself a higher quality of life, which you can accomplish by just going and moving your body consistently.
Right. Agree with that 100%. When I talk to people and they compare themselves to me, I always find something I'm not good at. Let's say somebody comes up to me and they're like, "Hey, I wish I could squat that much." I'll go, "You know what? I see you doing pull-ups. I can't do a pull-up. That's awesome. That's fucking great. You don't need to be me. You're doing amazing on your own end." And I really think that people who are consistent gym goers, it is up to us to like find those things to encourage people to continue moving.
1,000%. You know how I feel about that. I really don't like the whole narrative of, oh God, it's the new year. All these new people are going to be in. It's going to be such a hassle. Yo, we literally have an epidemic in this country of inactivity and being sedentary. I am not going to be an asshole to a new person in the gym because they're here to increase their health. We need to
Right.
support that.
For sure. And that's why, like I said, I go out of my way to say hi, be friendly. I won't say introduce myself because I'm very shy.
Oh my God. Meanwhile, like everybody in the gym is like, yo, Bridgette. Hey, yo, Bridgette.
I know I've had conversations with people where they describe me and I sound intimidating, but then I get to the gym and they're like, "Oh yeah, that little lady over there that's smiling really hard is Bridget."
Oh my gosh. You and my friend M are very similar in that way, where it's like you look at her. It's like that reel, that audio reel, where it's like, oh, she's so fucking cute. Oh shit, she's packing heat.
Oh, I love Em. She is she has an insane build and she's a great power lifter.
Oh,
Love, love, love.
I just recently handled her in October for her meet. She was like one of the easiest people to handle because like she's just so low key. Her third deadlift, it was 320. And I messed up because I thought I hit the record button and I did not. So we don't
Oh
even
no.
have it lives rent free in my mind, Bridget. I'm not even lying to you because she went out there and I looked at her before she went on the platform and I said, you start pulling, you do not fucking stop. Oh my God. And it was like full effort, RPE 10 maxed out, and she fucking got that lift. And I am getting
Oh,
goosebumps right now just talking about it.
I could see that in her. She's such a like a sleeper like power lifter. Like you would never know, but when you see her lift, like you can just tell the intensity builds. Even just training with her, I've noticed her
It's
intensity and I love it.
I think we all have a lot of respect for each other. At least I know that we try. Like you and I have had conversations about this of like being very supportive of women in strength sports and like our fellow women lifting. This is a perfect example of that. M easily could be my competition because she's my gym partner. I mean, we go to the gym together weekly.
Right.
I could look at her and compare myself to her and be like, oh man, look at how good she is. This is her dot score. Man, fuck this bitch. No, I'm over here like, oh girl, you just hit a deadlift PR. I'm so proud of you. Hell yeah, girl. I'm going to support and uplift you. I feel the same way about you. I see your shit on the gram. I see your beautiful videos. And I just look at my phone in awe. Wow, she's benching 235 pounds for reps and she's making it look easy.
It's definitely something that I feel like is hard to come by. People can be not genuine. That's so hard. And I think like you said, like finding people who support you genuinely with good intentions, it's amazing. And you find your support system and the same thing, like I watch your videos or your Instagram stories and I love you and I message you or I like them, just so I can keep up with you and see what you're doing. Those are genuine reactions. But then like there's obviously those people who keep up with you just to keep tab.
The haters stay watching.
Always.
Before we leave this lovely juncture, I have two questions for you. Okay.
Okay.
First question, if you had to like think of an ick at the gym, what would it be?
Do I have to narrow it down to one?
No, you
No.
can this is your time, babe. You can voice that.
Okay. One would be the loud grunting, like excessive grunting. I can't. It's too much. Nobody wants to hear it.
I support that.
Two, this one grosses me out. It actually made me start bringing my own chalk. People not washing their hands. Like, let's talk about that.
How did we not learn from the COVIDs? Okay.
Right.
Wash your
So I
fucking
like
hands.
I have watched somebody not wash their hands, come out of the bathroom, and then dip their hands in our chalk bowl.
No.
I don't want pink eye. You want pink
No.
eye? No. Okay.
No.
Wash your hands.
Seriously though, my second question for you, and I'm actually very like intrigued to hear your answer since you are relatively young in your training age. This will be your third year,
Yes.
fourth, third year. Yeah. If you had to think back, did you ever have a moment where you were like, what the hell was I thinking with something that you did at the gym?
God, I was just talking about. Yes. I see the memories from Facebook or Instagram of me lifting. I would lift weight, clearly struggle, like RPE 9 type lift. And the fucking caption I would post would be like, easy rep. Like, why didn't anybody tell me how cringe I was? I just think back. I think when I first started in seeking approval at that time, that I cringe now because I'm like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, I shouldn't care what other people think. They're not helping me squat 500 pounds. So yeah, I look back at those videos and I think, wow, Bridget, glad you got your shit together.
Like you're saying, like don't fall into that trap of feeling like you need that validation or approval from other people. Because, like
Right.
you said, they weren't helping you squat 500 pounds.
I agree. I think that people should be mindful of why they're posting. I don't care. Like if people take pictures or videos, I I mean I do it myself, so why would I judge other people first of all? Second of all, like do you? Who cares? Who gives a fuck about anything that you're doing. Like, you're gonna see me pose for a selfie in the gym, and I'm gonna post that shit, whether you like it or not. If you're watching, hey. If you're not, who cares? How people interpret that about you is their problem. But you
1,000%.
will find those people. Like,
This is why we find our group of people. You find your group, you find the people that genuinely support you, and you stick with them.
oh yeah, for sure.
Well, Bridgette, you and I both know we could sit here and chit chat for a very long time.
Yapping first, lifting after.
Number one in yapping. What do you tell your
Nothing.
boyfriend before you come and lift with me?
You mean, what does he say to me? He
Yes,
says,
yes, yes.
"See you tomorrow."
Oh, did we come to the gym to like lift weights? I didn't know.
Oh, there's a bar over there. It might be calling my name.
I've been here for 45 minutes. Maybe I should do a warm up set.
Oh shit, I've been here for 2 hours and I did one set.
I'm number one in yapping. I'm also number one in fun. If people want to follow you or follow your lifting journey, where can they find you?
My handle is at Bridgette from TX.
We're going to have healthy, successful 2025s with our lifting journeys and our meets. Like, it's going to go very well. I'm putting that energy out there for both of us.
Yeah, me too. Send you all the oogly booglies for the
Oh,
the year of 2025.
thank you. And then 2026, it's done. I'm sending you no good vibes.
Well, yeah, I agree. You only get 1 year's worth.
It's a 1 year free subscription, and then you have to pay for the good vibes. Bridgette, I love you. Thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Yeah, anytime.
If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, share, rate, and review. It helps the podcast grow and reach more people. Do you have any questions or suggestions? Email me at musclesandmalarkey@gmail.com or find me on Instagram at musclesandmalarkey. Yeehaw and yee-claw, everybody.